Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. I'm old school, but I keep it funky fresh, y'all. And this is deep, y'all. I'm from the deep, y'all. And what you get is what you motherfucking see.
Welcome back, humans! You know what day it is. My name is Hyman, giving you exclusive vents on headlines that you didn't even know you needed. And with that said, let's get on with some vents. Today, I kind of think you do need these ones. I kind of think you do need these headlines, humans, because they're just going around and it doesn't seem to be, hopefully we can get some things with enough people making some noise on these and, keeping this topics on hand and keeping them live. Maybe we can get some things and get some help out there for some of you people out there in Ohio, And I hope everybody out there is doing okay. But our prez, or what I like to call Project 46, allegedly asked Congress to send $33 billion in support to Ukraine all the way through September of next year. But rejected the emergency help to help the people out there in Ohio going through these crazy emergency situation that they're in right now. And like I said, again, I hope you all are safe out there. And I can't believe this is really happening. Like, sometimes you read some headlines and you're reading some articles and you're like, what the hell? Like, this is why I come out here and vent and have fun. I also have some other, little more lighthearted side vents on the, to end this episode with. But I have to, get this one off my chest, So, like, we have multiple disasters in, like, all different cities across the country. And, like, they say the borders are out of control. They say inflation is rising like crazy, like bananas. And they just want to help somebody else. They don't want to come over here and help. At least that's the way it looks, and it looks bad. It looks really bad because a lot of people are reaching out for help. And it seems like some things don't seem to be happening or happening fast enough. And then you hear about other situations happening and, all this stupid stuff. And, you want to talk about a balloon. Like I spoke before, you want to talk about a damn balloon and, some next celebrity scandal or some shit when there's some other shit happening here we need to take care of, And it's just really wild, the proof that they are getting, to me, it feels like this is the proof that they're getting money off the top, off of all this, money that's going over there to Ukraine, all this funding over there. Because when you look at some of this journalism stuff and you read what they're saying, it's like some of these people don't sound that extreme when they say, like, there's no real way that they are tracking what happens to most of that money when it gets over there to Ukraine. Because it seems like they're just blown right through it and asking for more right away. Which makes me believe that there's just people just skimming off the top. I think they're just like, oh, okay, now that you get some, some of it goes off to the big guy. You guys remember who the big guy was, right? I guess he's in, some laptop stuff. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what you guys heard. No. But they pushed the money over there because, like I said, there's no way to real track it, and they can just skim off as much as they want, and nobody's really going to do anything about it. And I think there's some real straight concern, like I said, when they're showing their true colors, when it's the color they only care about is the color of the money. They don't care about their true colors of having a heart or some kind of compassion to people out here that are, losing their lives, losing their homes, and, possibly other things could happen to this whole piece of land and a lot of piece of, part of that state. So I just really think that their priorities are very twisted when it's all about this dirty money game. This money game is a dirty game. That's wild. It's just wild to think about that, that people are actually going through some shit like that. It's real upsetting. And I'm going to get on to a little lighter note. I mean, even though this is still a crazy headline, I mean, this is just some weird shit. Okay, it's like from this came from, accordingly, the Trudeau government committee says that minors should be eligible for assisted suicide. Didn't like a doctor they made movies on and like documentaries on and took over the news? I think he was from here in Michigan, where I'm from. Kevorkian or something like that. Didn't he get like go to jail for like assisted suicide for helping people? And now they're like saying it's cool to do it. Like shouldn't he get some kind of like payback for that? Like besides just doing a movie about him. It's just wild. Now you're like promoting it to teenagers, like young children. Sheesh, that's really wild. This is like it feels like, like I said, when you get into those conspiracy stuff again, like, are they really like, so are they secretly trying to like control the population by trying to make it cool to die? Like, I don't get it. Like, hey kids, like this is the next cool thing, like smoking behind the school building and shit between classes, or smoking in the bathroom, between classes, smoking a cigarette. Now you can just go and, do this. Will there be commercials like this on TV? Like they do with all the prescription meds and all their 95 side effects, the whole commercial is all side effects. Like, would it be some of these, like, um, when you're kind of bored, feel like you just had enough or you feel fulfilled, and there's these little suicide stuff that comes on in a commercial. Here's a little suicide pill. That's kind of wild. Like, are they going to have like, they're going to like promo code bye-bye, and you get a free sample, count now for your free sample. One per person, one per household. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild to think about that. They're like promoting this. They're promoting this to people now. Like, hey man, there's hotlines for people that need help for this kind of stuff. You shouldn't have to go to a clinic and really go through with it. Like they shouldn't benefit or profit from something you could possibly get help with. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, this is just wild. It's just wild times we're in now, humans. This is wild times. And to continue with some more wild times, like I said, my segue here. Hollywood, I said like many times before, I feel like is in trouble. Like all these movies, like when you go to the movies, like we went recently and I was like, wow, this is all at the we went to go see a good movie, but like the other movies that was there was like, wow, this is what they're putting out at the movie theater? Like, dang. And not to mention, we used to go to like these other movie theaters where they would show old movies for like $1.50, and it wasn't too long after that, which was a fun place to go if you wanted to go quick, a little hangout, watch a movie, and it was an older movie, but you could save some money and go to the older looking theaters. It wasn't too long when they all started closing, So when I went to the theater, and you're there, and like these old, or if not just old, it was like about 5 movies on this whole theater that were like old movies you could watch on. If it wasn't on demand at your cable service or streaming service, you could like rent it or something like that. It was a movie, like old one. And I was like, wow, that's bananas. And then you go and you see the movies that are showing that are new movies at the box office. They were all just big old duds, like just like a movie. Wow, that's the one you're showing at the theater. Like, that's why they was on like, on the streaming services, in like 3 days because they knew nobody was going to watch them no more. They like made their max. But especially when you want to make like 10 movies of the same damn movie sequels, and like eventually people are going to stop watching this shit. You're probably going to have to start doing it on streaming service. What I'm talking about is the Fast and Furious movies. So they got Vin Diesel in an interview recently, you got the new Guardians movie coming out and whatnot. And he was saying that he thinks that he thinks Fast and Furious is the same as Lord of the Rings. Wow. I am shocked, or I am shocked, more than Groot. Like, damn, if I could say it in his language, that's what I would be saying, and I am Groot. If you would translate it, it would be like, I am shocked as hell. Like, there's no way. Fast and Furious, those movies, in my opinion, fell off, like, way back. Like, they were just putting, like, now they got, like, I think Momoa in the new movie. Like, I don't even know if this is part 10 or 12. I don't know what the fuck movie it is. They're almost catching up to, like, more like, Fast and Furious is nothing like Lord of the Rings. It's more like, Friday the 13th. So I think they made like 20 of those. So that's what's more you're like in that movie. In that sense. Even the old Leonard movies with Bill Cosby, I think they made Leonard Part 6. I don't think they made 6 of them, but that's where they started. So that's all I'm saying. But I feel like those movies fell off. Like now they got, like I said, they got now Momoa in there. I feel like they were just running out of people to throw in. Like, hey man, we'll try to bring this movie back. Let's bring in The Rock. Then it's like, okay, let's try, what's his name? John Cena. And then Idris Elba. I think he's in one of them. I don't even know if that's a really Fast and Furious movie. I think they call it Calvin and Hobbes or some shit. But I think it's supposed to be like Fast and Furious stuff. So they made like way too many of these movies. But to me, there's no way this is compared to Lord of the Rings. And I got I know why? Because Lord of the Rings ended. And that's the whole difference here. Fast and the Furious, it still keep going. So there's no way these movies are the same. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, humans. My name is Jaime, and this has been another episode of Meant to Rent. Till next time, humans. See ya.